Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for September 5th, 2025. A ton of great new arrivals to tell you guys about this week, but also a ton of great pre-orders to let you guys know about. Rhino announced their yearly Rocktober titles, and there is a ton of killer stuff on it. So let's get right into it. I'll start with a couple of non-Rocktober titles. They are doing a Prince Purple Rain one-step. This is going to be the same series, Because Sound Matters, the Linkin Parks, the Green Day, the Katie Lang. This is going to be the next in that series. They're doing Prince's Purple Rain, coming out October 3rd. Another Acoustic Sounds Verve title series. We've got Ben Webster's King of Tenors coming out October 24th. Mobile Fidelity announced a new Emerson, Lake and Palmer title. Tarkus, 33 RPM, just a standard Mobile Fidelity pressing. Don't get a ton of those anymore. They're typically 45, super vinyl or one-steps, but this is a standard, should I say budget at this point? $39.99, $39.99, normal standard pressing. Arrival date on that is to be announced. There's also an SACD version of it. Rocktober, ton of great stuff. Let me start by telling you the Rhino Reserve titles. Rhino Reserve titles are all analog, cut from tape by, is it Matt Luthen's doing it right now? I think Matt Luthen's. Maybe Chris Bellman. I'm almost positive Matt Luthen's. I always get confused. I got to go back and look. I always get confused because originally I think it was going to be Luthen's for the first two and then Bellman or vice versa, and that never ended up happening. Okay, they are doing, as a Rhino Reserve title, yes, 90125 at 33 RPM. Analog Productions did the 45 RPM. Rhino is doing the 33 RPM, October 3rd. This is an out there type of title, right? Not one I would expect. Porno for Pyros, the self-titled album. That comes out October 3rd. Warren Zevon's Excitable Boy. Now, there are a ton of Warren Zevon titles in this Rocktober, but that is a Rhino Reserve. His best record, I believe, October 31st. And this is another one that kind of took me by surprise. The Doors' Greatest Hits, the original Greatest Hits single disc from The Doors. I'm assuming it's being made from whatever the production master tape for that was, which would have been back in the day. They would have made copies of the master tape, cut those up, and then made a greatest hits out of it. And that's probably what they cut this from, but still, all analog. They are doing the second ZZ Top box set, but they're doing individual titles from that box as Rocktober titles, but they're really just Rhino hi-fi titles that they're releasing in October. Eliminator, that's going to be a huge title by itself. It's a very popular album, always has been, their biggest album. El Loco, Afterburner, Recycler, and Druggello. All of those come out October 31st. Continuing, there's three different Warren. Now, some of these you're just going to have to go and look online. I'd have to be sitting here all night reading off titles and dates to you. But there's three Warren Zevon titles. Morphine's Gold coming out October 3rd. Yes, Big Generator coming out October 3rd. There's a Rush box set, all the albums from 2002 to 2012. Clockwork Angels, Feedback, Snakes and Arrows, and Vapor Trails. That comes out October 31st. There is a double disc Black Sabbath, We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll on green vinyl coming out October 3rd. There's a Ministry title, Deep Purple, New York Dolls, a couple of Mr. Bungles, a David Lee Roth box set. They're doing Fleetwood Mac's Tusk and Bare Trees, a Stooges title, Dream Theater title, STP, so Stone Temple Pilots self-titled. There's a Faces title, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, go on the website, check out the pre-order tab. You can see everything there in detail and all the stuff I hadn't mentioned. It also seems like a lot of manufacturers are starting to drop a lot of pre-order titles the day of this video. Like those pre-order titles were actually announced last week on Thursday, but the video had already come out. So always keep an eye on the website. You'll see a lot more pre-order titles there later today. I also have a Whatnot coming up later today. The 5 o'clock every Thursday Whatnot is on schedule to go today, so I will have that going. 1 hour. I don't have another Sunday show lined up for the moment, but the weekly show is on. New from Mobile Fidelity, Van Halen's Women and Children First on SACD. Again, I don't do CDs unless they typically are autographed exclusive. So this is the reason I picked this one up. This is Rob Thomas's newest album, All Night Days. This is autographed by Rob Thomas. Restock of Miles Davis's Kinda Blue and the Eagles' Hotel California. Restocks. Okay, Big title this week, all analog, cut from the original master tape by the legendary mastering engineer Kevin Gray. We've got Fleetwood Mac's self-titled Fleetwood Mac. Fantastic, beautiful Rhino Hi-Fi. Didn't actually get one directly from them myself. I've been waiting for these Rhino Hi-Fi titles to come out. This way I get them intact. There are no corner dings. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't give two shits about the number on the back, so that's not an issue for me. They play just the same with or without that number. And a lot of these Rhino Hi-Fi titles nowadays are being made simultaneously. You know they're coming out off the press, numbered, unnumbered, it doesn't matter. They're all made pretty much at the same time nowadays. But yeah, here it is. Looking forward to listening to this. That's the big one of the week. Newly remastered from the stereo analog tape. So I believe this is an all analog cutting of this record from Bernie Grubman, I believe, no less. Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap, the original soundtrack. Iconic soundtrack. All black. Looking forward to seeing the movie. Been seeing some previews. But we got an all analog little reissue campaign from Spinal Tap. Here we go. Break Like the Wind. Newly remastered from the stereo analog tapes. We have Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend. A couple of different versions here. There's an indie exclusive, I believe, and there's a standard vinyl version. The indie exclusive, from what I read, is out of print, no more. Get it now. They deleted the SKU already. So if you're into this kind of thing, the indie exclusive, the time to get that is now. We have Sabrina Carpenter's Emails I Can't Send Forward. Boy, looks a lot different. David Byrne, one of my favorite artists of all time, absolutely huge Talking Heads fan. This is his latest album, David Byrne, Who is the Sky? A few different ways this came out. This is on yellow vinyl. Really, really, really colorful cover. The inside is even more colorful. I also have the indie vinyl version, which is on apple green vinyl. Album has Ghost Train Orchestra, St. Vincent's on this, Tom Skinner, Haley Williams. I listened to this about 5 or 6 times so far. I'm a huge David Byrne fan, but it hasn't been my favorite David Byrne album. This is the standard black vinyl version. There's a couple of really great tunes on it, but he does a lot of, I guess the best way to describe it is he does like an immense amount of storytelling on this. And I find my mind focusing on the story and less on the music. Some people are lyrics people. They listen to the lyrics. Some people are music people. I'm a music person, so the lyrics come secondary for me. It is about the music. And this is one of these albums that is more lyrically forward, where you're like focusing on the story he's telling you. And some of the stories are a little out there. Go with out there. So yeah, but I still really like it. It's a new record by an artist I love, and I actually will listen to that quite a bit. His last record, American Utopia, I probably listened to that 200 times. It's a great record. And this will probably grow on me a little more once I can get past the storytelling and more into the music. Cat Stevens, On the Road to Find Out. Greatest Hits, a brand new career-spanning collection featuring 24 songs. 2 LP Greatest Hits, a bunch of killer tunes on here. That is the standard vinyl version, and then we have the clear vinyl version, same thing but on clear vinyl. And then there is the box set version, which includes 47 songs versus 24 songs. So a little bit deeper on the greatest hits side. So there's some less greater hits on this one. I had this CD when I was a teenager in the 90s, and I'll never forget, I had a 1963 Cadillac. I just got it restored. I pulled out of the garage that did the restoration, plopped the CD in, cruised to the mall because I was a teenager and you went to the mall in the 90s. Black lacquer car, it was gorgeous. And I'll never remember just driving through the mall, listening to Forever Man, thinking I was the coolest guy. But in actuality, it was the 90s and everybody my age was listening to like Pearl Jam and Nirvana, and I was blasting Forever Man. Hindsight, I wasn't as cool as I thought I was, but that album brings back memories. Slipknot, 25th Anniversary Edition, 2 LP featuring the original album plus rare and unreleased demos and alternate mixes. This is the Jade vinyl version, 2 LP set. This was a Record Store Day first title that is now getting, oh wait a minute, this actually still says Record Store Day exclusive. So what is this, a continuation pressing of the Record Store Day title? That's interesting. Normally these are Record Store Day first that get released down the road, but this actually still says Record Store Day 2025, 2024. Yeah, April 20th, 2024. Interesting. The Cranberries. Bury the Hatchet, the complete sessions. Can you guys hear that? There's somebody walking by the store screaming very loudly. Don Cherry, Don Cherry, Complete Communication. This is a Blue Note tone poet, all analog cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray, like all tone poets. And the title, I've got this many versions of this Don Cherry, but the title that I'm looking forward to the most, because I always like checking out non-Blue Note tone poets because they tend to be musically fantastic. We've got Chico Hamilton's, of course I'm familiar with this album, but I want to hear how it sounds. This was originally a, it says Pacific Jazz, maybe it's a World Pacific, maybe Pacific Jazz. I feel like I have this on World Pacific. But single pocket, not a gatefold, Jim Hall, Chico Hamilton on drums, Buddy Collette. Looking forward to this. It's been a long time since I've listened to this record. I've got, I think, an original, and it's okay, but I bet you the tone poet sounds awesome. Miles Davis's Agartha. This is from Mobile Fidelity. Let's see. DSD 256, analog master, analog console to lathe. Not a very common album to find. This is the vinyl version of Rob Thomas's new album. First pressing on black vinyl. Unfortunately, not autographed. They're doing a lot of autographed CDs, but not a lot of autographed vinyl. They don't need help selling the records. They need help selling the CDs, so that's why they sign CDs. The London Suede, Antidepressants. Niall Horgan, Heartbreak Weather, 5th year anniversary edition, pressed on baby blue vinyl with new artwork. The new album by Tom Odell, A Wonderful Life in black vinyl. Peace is the Mission, Major Lazer. This is the indie vinyl variant, 10-year anniversary edition. Available for the first time on 2 LPs on Goldfish vinyl. High Tech, Honeypag Volume 1. Indie vinyl version on Deep Ocean vinyl. Well, this is a mouthful. The text is so small I can barely read it. Dominique Fils Ami, live at the Montreux International Jazz Festival. This is great. What is this? There's a sticker attached to the back. It reads, "Oops, a mistake in our first pressing. The inside is printed in reverse order for the first 500 copies. You can read it in the mirror or download it here. We are so sorry. Thank you for your support." That's so cool. So you know you have a, well, maybe this doesn't include, maybe they put the sticker on all of them because they didn't know what it was. But yeah, check it out. There's a little sticker on there telling you might have one of the original first 500 pressings. BTS, Right Place, Wrong Person. This is RM of BTS, I guess I should say. We are seeing more and more K-pop on vinyl. It's still a CD format, but it's moving over. Speaking of K-pop, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Could be wrong. Could be J-pop. Don't really know. Le Saffron, Easy Crazy Hot. This is the indie vinyl version with, of course, the additional photo card. Fujika's Parima. And did I order this stuff? I don't know, maybe. Maybe not, I don't know. It's here. The Sound of Music. This is the 60th anniversary vinyl version. Well, it's not vinyl, it's a picture disc. This is the picture disc version for the 60th anniversary. It's a classic. Used to be a very common record, but they don't stick around very often. Clean copies go pretty quick. Death Becomes Her, the original Broadway cast recording, pressed on Potion Purple vinyl. Music from and inspired by the Smurfs. Interesting. I'm just looking at this cover and I'm noticing there's some artistic symmetry with my new InGroove logo. Removable price sticker, by the way, for you people who can't stand price tags on your records. Even cool ones with like really good looking record guys on the front. But I kind of feel like I kind of look like a Smurf now that I'm looking at this. Anyways, here we go. The Smurfs. We've got Laney Gardner, Faded Polaroids. Whoa, almost launched that one. Seongjin Cho, Ravel, the Piano Concertos, the Boston Symphony Orchestra on Deutsche Grammophon. Did I show this one yet last week? No, this is Lee Morgan's The Procrastinator. Blue Note Classic, all analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Bobby Hutcherson, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, and Billy Higgins. What a freaking lineup that is. I listened to this either this morning or yesterday. I want to say it was this morning. Great record. The Cars, Candio, Rhino Hi-Fi. This is actually a restock. We might be getting into the restocks. All analog, cut from the master tape by Kevin Gray. Ooh, from my top 100 in-print analog records you should own list, we have Tom Petty's Wildflowers and All the Rest. All analog, cut from the master tape. I think Chris Beltman did that. Restock of Led Zeppelin 2. Restock of Donald Fagen's The Night Fly. Restock of Michael Jackson's Thriller. I typically only show restocks of titles that are in demand, haven't had in a while, that kind of thing. Alice Cooper's Love It to Death has I'm 18. Rhino Hi-Fi, all analog, cut from the master tape by Kevin Gray. The original single disc Pearl Jam 10. The best-selling 12-inch of all time, New Order's Blue Monday with the replicated die-cut cover. Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz. We're starting to get some decent restocks in on Ozzy and Black Sabbath. They're sticking around for a little bit. The Talking Heads. We got a restock in from Mobile Fidelity of Santana Abraxas. Does not seem to matter how many of these things we get in. We always sell out of them. Santana's Caravanserai. This is a restock. Got a restock of Daryl Hall and John Oates. Hall and Oates, essentially greatest hits, but rock and soul part 1. Restock of Mobile Fidelity's Dire Straits self-titled album, one of the greatest self-titled albums of all time. Restock of The Cars, Heartbeat City. Restock of Bob Dylan's New Morning. Restock of Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks. Restock of Alanis Morissette's Former Infatuation Junkie. What is this called? Yeah. Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie. Fantastic record. Whitney Houston's first self-titled album. I say first because technically the second one's called Whitney. This is limited to 4,000. So this is copy 3472. I don't know if we're getting towards the end, but I wouldn't wait too much longer. Bill Withers, greatest hits, absolute essential demo worthy album there. B-52's second record, Wild Planet, really great sounding record. Bill Evans, Undercurrent, talking about the B-52s. And Miles Davis's Bitches Brew, the standard 33 RPM version. I feel like that would be a relatively low number for a restock, 3138. But there it is. Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. All right, all of this stuff can be purchased online at the website at theingroove.com. I will see you guys at 5 o'clock Arizona time for, later today for today's Whatnot. Again, don't forget to check out later today for new added pre-orders. I send out an email every week. If you want to get on that email, go to the website. You can click on the bottom page and sign up for the emails. I send out one email a week. I'm not going to spam you to death. Typically, it is Thursday, and it's kind of like what's new that week, that type of thing. What's new pre-owned stuff. I've been getting a lot of pre-owned stuff with the new trade-in program we've got going on, so that stuff's all made its way to the website. Most of it's sold out already, which is good because with me paying 75%, I don't want to sit on it for too long. I want to move it somewhat quickly. But yeah, you can get on the email list and see all that stuff. All right, guys, until next time.